Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Moji Ji ki Jai. The man of knowledge is neither happy nor miserable, neither detached nor attached, neither liberated nor seeking liberation. He is neither this nor that. All of us now have the ears to hear this because with worldly ears, this doesn't make any sense. Exactly what we were speaking about some time ago, actually. We're saying neither this nor that. Empty of position. Is it possible? For many of us, it can sound like it is not possible. I'm either free or bound. But what if there's a third option? In India, we have usually this third option called not applicable. I wonder if it is there everywhere in the world. Not applicable. Why is it not applicable? Why is it not applicable? Because you are not that which could be bound. You see? So if you're not that which could be bound, how will you be free? Not possible at all. It's like, what is the color of the space in this room? Not applicable. It does not apply. So in that way, so when the sage says, the man of knowledge is neither happy nor miserable, and this knowledge is the capital K, not that the one who has learned a lot, has a lot of mental concepts, has come to the true discovery, the true knowingness itself. This is the man of knowledge, is neither happy nor miserable, neither detached nor attached, neither liberated nor seeking liberation. If you are prior to time and space, do any of these apply? For everything, it is not applicable. Tick the box, not applicable. Mind comes and says, but what am I supposed to do next? Not applicable. I am not that. Are you doing the right thing? Are you doing the wrong thing? Not applicable. What do you need in your life? Not applicable. Where do you want to go next? Not applicable. See, this is the meaning of not believing your next thought. Many times when I say don't believe your next thought, many hear it to mean like you must believe the opposite or something. It is not that. It is out of the play of opposites. Basically coming to this, not applicable. The mind says, is it left or right? None of these. Now it's only in chapter 18, verse 96 that we can truly get the import of this. What is the meaning of this? And still see that there is this mind which comes with this I. It says, what is my true position? What is my real position? And it wants to use enlightenment also as a position. That's why I say it says, neither liberated nor seeking liberation. So not even that becomes a position. To find the truth means to discover that which always was. You are not discovering something which now you have become. The outward play might change. The expression in this body might change. But the truth has always stayed the same. So it is this continuing confusion of the outward play of this body mind to be me, which can then lead to us believing these positions. If you are not a thing, if you are not a thing at all, so this simple seeing that I am not an object and all positions belong to only objects. Can something which is not an object have a position? And that which has no attributes Can you say something about it? Only like this. Only in the negative in this way. It is not that, it is not that. Neti neti. Does not have attributes, does not have qualities. What does it have? At best, you can say awareness, witnessing, which it itself is, doesn't have, it is not something it has. So from there, the sage is speaking. Even while distracted, the blessed one is still in meditation. He does not meditate. In ignorance, he remains clear. Though learned, he knows nothing. Now, each of these aspects we've looked at quite a few times. So we'll go forward to 98. The liberated one who abides unconditionally in self, who is free of the concept of action and duty, who is always and everywhere the same, is desireless. He does not worry about what he did or did not do. So this, as I say, the three Ds: desire, doership, duality. These are the legs of this ego. So as you see that you are not the doer, no desire actually is true about you because you are not a thing, you are not an object, and no separation has ever happened. You will find that the play of the outer world can continue. All the attributes which the sage has mentioned might continue to be seen in the life of the sage, but if you were to ask them, what is your truth? They say, I'm not doing anything. All is happening to the will of consciousness. The wise one is neither pleased by praise nor annoyed by blame. He neither rejoices in life nor fears death. Again, we've discussed this. Don't get confused about not rejoicing. It's not that the external celebration cannot happen. Joy can come, laughter can come. In fact, it will become very natural for it to come. But he is not identified as the rejoicer. He is not identified as the experiencer. All of this is the movement of the waves on the surface of the ocean. But the sage knows that his depth is much more than the surface. His reality remains untouched, whatever the movement of the ocean might be. One of tranquil mind neither seeks crowds nor wilderness. He is the same wherever he goes. So, like you said, no need to renounce the world and go and live in a cave in the wilderness. And there is no need to become very focused on getting a lot of crowds and masses or meeting a lot of people, changing the world, these kind of ideas. So from this simple seeing, I am the self, it is seen that everything that plays as this body mind is the will of consciousness. So if it has to happen, it will happen. If it is not happening, it is not happening. Not attached to either happening nor non-happening. You see? This is the important part because many times we can hear this instruction and we can feel like I'm not the doer. So now I will do nothing. But even that is a sense of doership. It's a bit subtle, so let me repeat. can have this idea that because I am not the doer, now I will do nothing. But even that is a doing. The idea of doership, of doing nothing. As long as you believe yourself to be the limited entity made up of the body mind, then even the position that you might take of doer or non-doer, both smells of limitation. It is only in your recognition as your true self. You see that it is what? It is not applicable. Doership. We are not the doer because it is not applicable. So if the multiple choice comes, which one are you? Option A, doer. Option B, non-doer. Option C, not applicable. It is not applicable because you are not that which would have been either the doer or the non-doer. This, if you keep in your heart, if you contemplate a little bit about this, it will clear so much subtle misunderstanding that can come in Advaita. Because there are many who can take the non-doership position also as a limited entity. They can take the non-desire or pure mind position also as a limited entity. Why are you empty of desire? Because desire and desirelessness both are not applicable. So when you hear that you have no desire, then the mind will come and say, but oh, this means I must be free of my desire. No, see that what you are, and you are beyond any phenomenal attributes. So what could you want which is phenomenal? Only in the idea of your limitation can you truly want something. Therefore, in desire, doership, and duality is hidden this ego, this limited identity, and also in their opposites. So it is not that you have to take their opposite position, it is to be empty of all position. Now you might say, so how do I become empty of all positions? The instruction, like Guruji might say, the instruction sounds a bit like when I say, be natural. You're then doing the being natural, you're trying to be natural. How do I let me put my shoulders down? That's also doing. How to be empty of all positions? See what you are. What are you in this very moment? And you will find that you are the witness of all phenomenal movement. And that itself is beyond anything that you have conceived yourself to be in the past. And then when the thought comes, tells you, oh, this is your position, or this is what uh, my offer of a new position for you is, you know, it's the same wrong idea. It's selling to the limited idea of yourself. That is why we keep emphasizing this self-recognition, which is ever available. It is not difficult. But you cannot hold on to a limited position about yourself and hold on to the self. You cannot keep one foot on the ground and board an aeroplane. So you cannot, if you want to come to this self-recognition, then the idea of limitation, the idea of your separateness must be disposed of, must be discarded. Must be how? Nothing you have to do even in that, because right now it is empty. Don't fill it up again. What can be, and I try to emphasize this almost every satsang. because I'm still in awe of this. I remember here, this one that played out was a seeker for a long time. See? So if he was told that, oh, all these conditions that you're trying to get rid of, all the ego that you're trying to destroy, it automatically just vanishes in every moment. I feel I'd be very happy to hear that. But somehow I don't seem to get that response when I share it in Satsang. I wonder why. If I had been told this, that all this heavy lifting, all this project, getting rid of tendencies, condition, ego, kill the ego, dissolve it, nothing. It's just happening. Done. So simple. But that's the only thing, isn't it? But which is what? It is just a thought, just another thought. So what to do with this thought? Just let it come and go. If you have not been able to let it come and go, you picked it up. So what? Nothing. In this moment, it is all clean again. Again, the same cycle repeats, but that's just this game is all like this. It's all this. So, why is the self recognition important then? If in every moment the cleanup job is all happened, why is the self recognition important? Because when the but comes, it is always speaking to you as if you are the limited one. Then, when you have seen yourself to be the beyond the concept of limitation, then the thought is not so believable. You don't hold on to the doubt. You don't hold on to what the mind is saying. If you are able to let it go. That's why this self-recognition creates the space in which belief in the mind can be let go of. And as belief in the mind is let go of, creates more space for the self-recognition. That is your true satsang. See, satsang is this. Whatever might be the environment you're in, whatever might be the place you're in, if it is about this coming to the recognition of the self and letting go of the false, it could be that you're in the middle of a fish market, but it is still satsang. In the physical environment called satsang, many times it could be that we are picking up more and more concepts about ourselves. So then it is no longer satsang. In the physical environment of satsang, of course, there's so much energetic presence which is available, so much Sadhguru's grace which is available, allowing the mind to just come and go. But it can be that those who are playing the game of healing their spiritual ego can find the satsang environment very nourishing for the egos. When satsang words are looked at as if they are concepts to know, concepts to learn, or something, not being used as the tools to remove all that we know. Isn't it? Bhagavan said self-inquiry or the question, who am I, is the thorn we are using to remove the other thorn. But suppose we are using it and embedding that as a thorn itself. And we pick up the next thorn. Are you aware now? Put that as a thorn. Can you stop being? Put that as. If all this becomes the badges for our spiritual ego, which is a collection of the most beautiful spiritual concepts, but empty of true insight, then all these are just badges of honor of the ego, playing in a spiritual way. But any one of these pointers, when used to check on the reality of what you are, check on the reality of what you are, you will find that everything there is empty of all positions, all conditions, all doing, all desire, empty of duality. So that was chapter 18. Look at that. With the tongues of truth. This is God saying hello, isn't it? When these things happen, that God is saying hello. We just spoke about this. With the tongues of truth, I have plucked the thorn of thinking from the innermost cave of my heart. With the tongues of truth, I have plucked the thorn of thinking from the innermost cave of my heart. This is exactly what we just discussed. Where is meditation, pleasure, prosperity, or discrimination? Where is duality? Where even is unity? I abide in the glory of self. So all of these are now fallen into the non-applicable. Should you meditate or not? Not applicable. Is it? In the appearance, meditation could appear or not. That's why I say, no? Before enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water. After enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water, or not. That or not is very important. There is meditation, pleasure, prosperity, or discrimination. What was this discrimination? This discrimination was not how it is usually used in the world. This discrimination was that to check between that which is real and unreal. How to check between that which is real and unreal? To find that which is unchanging is real. That which changes is an appearance. But now, although that was a useful tool, he said not this, not this, not this, not this, because that is still the realm of change. But now coming to this recognition, do we need to not this anything? Nothing. Everything is accepted as is. And yet you know that your reality is much more, much beyond that. The not this is a very beautiful tool to bring some focus to what you really are. But the sage is not spending the rest of his life saying, oh, I'm not this, I'm not this. But the tool served its purpose, and the purpose was what? I have plucked the thorn of thinking from the innermost cave of my heart. That is the purpose of all this spiritual pointing. They all have this one purpose. Where is duality? Where even is unity? I abide in the glory of self. Where even is unity is a very important point, you see. Because although we might say, I am that one awareness, actually it is more accurate to say, I am that not two awareness. So it's Advaita, non-dual. Because when we come to the discovery of the self, it is not one. Because if there was one, then inbuilt in the concept of one is there's a two. If there can be something which is one, there is possible for there to be a two in accounts. So it's not an objective discovery at all. There is not an object which is just that one. It is empty of all objective qualities. Now, oneness also. Although oneness is a beautiful way to point to that. to explain that. The discovery is not of one. Where is past and future, or even present? Where is space, or even eternity? I abide in the glory of self, time and space. And many times we are open to this discovery that the space is just a projection of consciousness. Because we feel that, yes, the consciousness also conjures up dreams, consciousness conjures up imagination, memories, some things that never happen. There might be 10 of you, and you might have a very clear image of memory of something happened. The other 9 might say, what are you saying? This never happened. Is it? So this whole projection ability of consciousness, dreams, memory, imagination, we're able to accept that about space. But many times we are unable to accept it about time. But then you will find that time and space is actually one. It's one space of experiencing, the space of your existence, your being. And that which witnesses this space is changeless. So for that which is changeless, there is no time. Time is the measure of change. That which is changeless is beyond time. Where is past and future, or even present? Where is space, or even eternity? I abide in the glory of self. And then, where is self? Where is not self? Where is good and evil? Confusion and clarity? I abide in the glory of self. Where is self and even not self? Just like the Gita chapter 26. Yeah. After so many chapters about Brahman, there's not even Brahman. Why? Because the sages know that even these most pristine pointings can become positions. How many have we seen in this Advaita path who are just, I am awareness. What did you like for lunch? I am awareness. It's like Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy. I am Groot. Say anything to them, I am awareness. So even awareness or even self can become like a position. So even this, don't hang on to it conceptually. So although he starts the verse with where is self, where is not self, where is good and evil, confusion and clarity, I abide in the glory of self. Self does not have to be held on to conceptually. When we are empty of concepts, what are you? The self. Where is sleeping? Where is dreaming, waking, or even the fourth state? Where is fear? I abide in the glory of self. A beautiful point is sleeping, dreaming, waking. All of them come and go. Even Turiya comes and goes. If this itself comes and goes, you know this is going to go. Tonight it's going. Ultimately, it's even if you feel like sleep is only a temporary state and you feel like there's a death which is a permanent state, ultimately it's coming. So this is going to go. What did the sage say right from the very beginning? Focus on that which is unchanging. So we're still trying to sort out something for the changeful realm, because that's the only way the mind can function. Who is that which is beyond these states? Who are you in your sleep state that observes that there is nothing there? Who is the witness of that nothing? What no thing witnesses nothing? And what no thing witnesses all things? Where is close or far, in or out, gross or subtle, I abide in the glory of self. So all these concepts of time and space, and objects within time and space, now you see that you are beyond this entire realm. Verse 7, chapter 19. Where is life and death? Where is the world and worldly relations? Where is distraction and stillness? I abide in the glory of self. We just talked about this. All these states of waking, dream, sleep, turiya, life, death. Who are they for? Who witnesses them? Is that touched by them? You'll notice now that the mind will run out of tricks. Because now every single concept of yourself, which the mind uses to convince you of your limitations, is being swept away. You are neither this nor that. You are neither in time nor in space. You are not neither free nor liberated or bound. Neither the doer nor the non-doer. Not the desirer, not the experiencer. You are this self. And this abiding is your natural state because you are the self. Abiding is your natural state. You don't have to try and abide. Many are doing this also. I'm trying to abide as the self. No, how? It's your natural state. You don't have to be natural. You see? Like we were saying earlier. But you have to try and be unnatural. You have to make an effort to pose as if you are the person. You have to make the effort to pose as if you are an entity, the identity. How do you make this effort? By giving belief to that which is meaningless. This power of belief belongs to you as consciousness. And consciousness chooses to play as if it is the ego when it believes the idea that I am something. There is no need to talk about the three ends of life. Okay, we want to talk of yoga is purposeless. Oops. Even talking about truths is irrelevant. I rest in the self alone. It's like the ultimate shut up call. Babaji, be quiet. There is no need to talk about the three ends of life. To talk of yoga is purposeless. Even talking about truth is irrelevant. I rest in the self alone. Now, the only thing I will say, at the risk of upsetting Ashtavakra, is that don't mistake the outer silence of this mouth as true silence. That can be a helpful silence, but the truer silence is this absence of egoic belief. There nothing has to be said. You only need a concept to establish a false position for yourself. The truth does not need a concept. So empty of concepts, there's no need to speak, no need for any proclamation, any judgments. Even talking about truth is irrelevant. I rest in the self alone. Okay, we finished chapter 19. There's only one chapter left, which we will take next week. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai.
Sadguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.